Hello, and welcome to another video. I'm your host, Blackamo or JJ. Today we're doing something different, and I have recorded this video 3 different times. For the first time, I talked too long. Second time, I kept losing track of what I was talking about, and kept saying the word so it's a very boring video. But today we are doing a book review. And first of all, I'd like to apologize for my small hiatus away from uploading. I was very demotivated, and like I said, making videos for me is a very difficult job because I'm so goddamn bad. But today we have a book review, and we're reviewing this book right here, The Painted Man by Peter V. Brent. And I got this book around 6 months ago, and I actually read it 4 weeks ago. So it's not really fresh in my mind, but I'm going to try my best to review it to the best of my ability. Since it's fantasy, I'll probably review the magic system, the world building, and the characters, and anything else that I feel is relevant to this actual review. And I want to say first that I did enjoy the book, like, very much. It just feels like it may be this artist's first book release, just because some of the things he actually does in it are very cliche and more done for a reaction rather for an actual purpose within the story. First of all, I want to go through some of the plot. Basically, we're in a fantasy world set in like a apocalyptic kind of time. Humans are under like the tyranny of demons that rise out from the ground each night. You see different variations of demons such as fire, earth, wind, water, and any demon you can really think of probably exists within the world. And the only way to actually fight these demons are with wards. And the only wards we actually see for the majority of this book are defensive wards of varying type. So it's more that humans are hiding from the demons at night rather than going out and fighting them, except like one city, which is, we'll explore later within the book. Our main characters are named Arlen, Leisha, and Roger. It's kind of written in a way that A Song of Ice and Fire is written, where you follow like the 3 individual characters and their different perspectives, and then they'll meet up and then interact. But the first one we actually follow is a character named Arlen. We follow him while he's around 8 years old, I believe. We find out about him during this time that he lives in a village, a small village called Hollow Cutter. The first scene we see of him is he cleaning up debris of a recent demon attack, and we get some backstory about him personally, like he used to be bullied, and he kind of had to fight back with the bullies to like stop it. And he's also experienced like water even at a young age, experienced enough that even his father allows him to ward the house when he's away. Arlen's main arc is that he eventually leaves his village after the death of his mother, that he kind of blames on his father, so he leaves his father behind and goes off with a messenger. And a messenger is a person that has the occupation of delivering different supplies to different cities, revolving around the 3 cities, and the 3 cities are just like the last remaining actual fully built cities in this world. So he goes off with a messenger and tries to learn from him to be able to try and fight back against the demon. His main teachers to become a messenger are Reigen and Cobb. Cobb's an ex-messenger, and they teach him the warding side, because apparently warding has lots of maps to it, because they have to place wards in a certain space for them to activate, even though Arlen is naturally kind of gifted in a way to just eyeball it, like he just writes wards in the correct place. Example of this is where he writes the walls on like a cave entrance where it's not even it's not a flat surface. There's lots of like nooks and crannies to like take into account. And the next person is Reigen, and Reigen is a messenger that actually brings him to the free city, and he kind of wants to give him the chance, fight the demons, because that's what he really wants. After 7 years of being with Cobb and just warding the general city, he eventually leaves the city because of some romantic plot. I won't ruin that, but it's pretty drawn out, basically. And he eventually goes to another free city in a desert area. It's kind of like an Egyptian kind of city. He finds a ruin within the desert, which is said to contain lost wards of the old world. Well, before they discovered the signs and before, the second demon ward, which is this one. It's around the time when humans can actually fight demons with wards. And Alan actually finds a staff which has lots of different new wards on it that are able to actually hurt and kill a demon. And this is represented with him fighting a couple of demons while going back to the free city to show people and try to share the knowledge. Allen is built to be a character that's very selfless. He actually tries to share his wards in exchange for other wards to try and build the catalog to have a better chance of fighting other demons. And so he uses this staff and shows the people of that free city that we can fight it, we can kill demons, but they betray him and take the staff and then pretty much leave him in the desert for dead. Later on, Allen actually draws wards on his body to fight demons and then kind of becomes the Painted Man, which is basically he's a man that's covered with wards, and he only fights bare skinned, with a loincloth to cover his goddamn dick. And that's about it. He just kind of moves from city to city, place to place in search for more wards to put on his body and to just kill any demon he sees. This brings us to Alicia, and Alicia is a character that we again see at a very young age, and we kind of grow up with her. She actually was supposed to be taking over her father's workplace as a paper maker, but eventually she goes off to be a medical herbalist and be the town's doctor. The way that this happened is very, very rough. And also there's a side kind of story with her interaction with men. Basically, any man around her is instantly becomes a douchebag. I have no idea why. But that's basically her arc, and she eventually meets Allen after a unfortunate event we'll talk about later. Roger, again, we see him while he's actually very younger. He's 3, and we witness the death of his parents and pretty much his whole village because it was a massive demon attack because of effective wards. And we see him get raised by a jostler or jester, and they basically perform for different villages and people to keep up morale, and they're actually very important basically, so no one kills themselves and the population doesn't just give up hope. And he just learns under Eric, which is his name, to become a jostler as well. Roger has a special ability to actually put demons into trances every time he plays his fiddle, because he plays it so beautifully that they kind of are in trance. They either hate it when it's extremely bad, or just are completely docile when it's a very pleasant sound. Roger meets Alicia in one of the free cities, and they go off on an adventure to go back to Alicia's original village to help with the pandemic. So that's how they met. And then how they meet Allen is after an event where Roger and Alicia get robbed, and Alicia sadly gets raped. They are left at night where demons are kind of starting to rise, and Allen comes in the nick of time to save them. And then they travel back to Alicia's hometown to defend against demons and also handle the pandemic going on there. And that's pretty much the overall plot of the book. Now, the magic system in the book is very interesting. I like it. The way it explains is that the wards are actually charged by the demons. It's kind of more like a catalyst, and the demons actually inflict the magic within the wards to have an effect. In the book, Allen knows a ward that makes windows unbreakable, but an actual demon needs to charge the ward before it actually takes effect. The world building is very basic, I have to say. Maybe we'll get more, but it's realistic to the kind of setting we're put into. You wouldn't have loads of places to go. Everyone wants to kind of migrate and be in the same place if possible. And so I understand about the small scale we live in right now. The problem I have with the book sometimes is that he does stuff to get a reaction out of you. When Alicia actually gets raped, it doesn't really need to happen, especially since her kind of character arc was based on trying to save her for marriage, and how you shouldn't really give men anything if you don't want it to be given. So having those men take it away from her is kind of just more oh wow, she just got raped. That's just pretty shit. It didn't really add to the story, just add to shock. And again, I don't like how he basically he made Leisha and Alden have like a love scene after like a day or two like seeing each other, and this was after Alden kind of accidentally killed those guys that robbed from them, and after she witnessed his kind of like brutish nature of killing demons just freely. And I don't really think that they'll be like, oh shit, I'm just gonna freaking fuck you because you know you're hot and shit because you have tattoos all over. You're basically fucking 69. But yeah, I don't really like how he does that. But overall, I think the book is really good. Like, I think the magic system is good. The world building is realistic. The story itself is like, oh, the demons rise out of the ground and they have like this hell that they come from. So maybe later you'll explore the actual hell in this world. The characters, Alden is actually a very good character. He's very built. He's built to be very selfless. He's built to be very, you know, determined and knowledgeable. Leisha is very, you know, strong, independent woman. I appreciate that. And she's very smart. But later she kind of learns words like within a day, which is fucking sucks. And Roger is just the comic relief of the book, and he's very funny, and he lies about his age so he can try to sleep with Leisha, and it's like very cute. So overall, I'll give this book a nice, you know, 3 out of 5 maybe. I would read it. Like, it's very weak in some aspects of the book, but it's very good in others. So it really depends on your type of preference. But thank you for watching. I am in the midst of trying to do a podcast and record more gaming videos, so stay tuned for that, and I hope that I will see you in the next video, and please have a nice day, and thank you for your forgiveness.